Do dolphins talk? Introduction. The ocean's whisper. Beneath the endless waves of the world's oceans, a language is spoken that is older than humanity itself. It is not made of words written on paper or letters typed on a screen. Instead, it flows through whistles, clicks, and pulses, echoing through the deep blue waters. This language belongs to one of the most intelligent creatures on our planet, the dolphin. For centuries, humans have been fascinated by these playful marine mammals. They leap from the water with joy, surf the waves beside boats, and display a level of intelligence that challenges our understanding of the animal kingdom. But perhaps the most mysterious aspect of dolphins is their ability to talk. Yes, dolphins talk. They communicate in ways that scientists are only just beginning to understand. But why do they talk? What drives these animals to create such complex systems of sound? And could it be possible that their communication is more than simple signals, that it might be a true language, one that reveals a hidden world beneath the sea? This is the story of dolphins, their voices, and the mystery of their conversations. Before we dive into how dolphins talk, let us first meet the speakers themselves. The world of dolphins is diverse and fascinating. There are about 90 species of dolphins and porpoises, and while we often imagine the familiar bottlenose dolphin, the truth is that dolphins come in many shapes and sizes. The spinner dolphin twirls gracefully through the air. The mighty orca, or killer whale, despite its name, is actually the largest member of the dolphin family. In rivers across South America and Asia, freshwater dolphins move quietly through murky waters, but among them all, the bottlenose dolphin has become the most famous, thanks to its close contact with humans and its starring role in marine research. What makes dolphins so special? One key is their intelligence. Dolphins have large, complex brains. In fact, when compared to body size, their brains are second only to humans. Their neocortex, the part of the brain responsible for problem-solving, emotions, and communication, is highly developed. This allows them to learn, to solve puzzles, and to form deep social bonds. And in the ocean, communication is survival. Dolphins live in groups called pods. A pod is not just a random collection of animals, it is a family, a community, a society. Some pods are small, with only a few individuals, while others gather into superpods of hundreds. Within these groups, cooperation is everything. They must hunt together, protect each other, and raise their young. But how can they do all this in an environment where vision is limited, where sound travels faster and farther than light? The answer lies in their voices. The ocean is not like the land. Down in the depths, visibility is often poor. But sound is powerful. Underwater, sound travels more than 4 times faster than in air, carrying messages across great distances. And dolphins have evolved to master this invisible world of sound. Through whistles, clicks, and pulsed calls, dolphins build an acoustic universe. Each sound has meaning, each tone a purpose. It is their way of saying, "I am here." "Where are you?" Or, "Follow me, food is near." Or even, "Beware, danger approaches." Their ability to communicate is not a luxury. It is the very foundation of their survival. Imagine a group of dolphins hunting fish. Alone, a dolphin would struggle to catch enough food. But together, they form strategies. Some surround the fish, others drive them toward the center, while a few wait to strike. All of this requires communication, fast, precise, and effective, and so, to understand why dolphins talk, we must first understand their world. A world where cooperation means survival, and where sound is the bridge between life and death. But communication is not just about hunting or warning. It is also about family, about bonding, about love. A mother dolphin must guide her calf, teach it to breathe, to swim, to hunt. She whispers to her calf with soft whistles, reassuring it, guiding it. In these sounds lies not only survival, but emotion, and it is here, in this bond between dolphins, that we begin to glimpse the deeper mystery of their voices. For dolphins do not only send signals, they share feelings, identity, and perhaps even ideas. So the question deepens: are dolphins simply calling out, Or are they truly speaking? To understand why dolphins talk, we must first ask, how do they talk? Dolphins live in a world shaped by sound. Their voices are not like ours, but they are powerful, flexible, and remarkably complex. When humans speak, we shape air with our vocal cords, tongues, and lips. Dolphins, however, live in an underwater universe where air is scarce and sound travels differently. And yet, they have evolved an extraordinary toolkit of sounds, each serving a unique purpose. Scientists usually divide dolphin sounds into three main categories: whistles, clicks, and burst-pulsed sounds. Whistles are perhaps the most familiar of dolphin sounds. These are long, drawn-out notes that can rise or fall in pitch. If you've ever heard recordings of dolphins, chances are you've heard their whistles, but whistles are not just random noises. They are used much like our names. Each dolphin develops its own signature whistle, a unique sound pattern that identifies it as an individual. Think of it as a personal hello, this is me.
Experiments and discovered that dolphins possess spatial thinking and can solve problems, including collectively. The researcher's subject took very little time to solve a puzzle similar to a finger maze.
A name it carries for life. Other dolphins can recognize and copy these whistles. If one dolphin wants to call another, it repeats that dolphin's unique whistle. In human terms, it's as if one dolphin is literally. The second major sound dolphins produce is the click. Unlike whistles, clicks are very short, sharp sounds, repeated in rapid bursts. These are not used for conversation in the usual sense. Instead, they form the basis of echolocation. Echolocation is a kind of biological sonar. When a dolphin produces clicks, the sound waves travel through the water, bounce off objects, and return as echoes. By listening carefully to the echoes, the dolphin can see its environment with sound. This ability is so refined that dolphins can detect the size, shape, distance, and even the texture of objects, sometimes better than we can with our eyes. Imagine being in pitch darkness, unable to see anything around you. Now imagine snapping your fingers and instantly knowing where the walls, doors, and furniture are, down to the finest detail. That is what echolocation is like for dolphins: visual, graphic, showing a fish in the dark, then the sonar outline lighting up in detail. Dolphins use echolocation to hunt, to navigate, and to explore their world. They can detect fish hidden in the sand, avoid obstacles in murky waters, and even distinguish between different types of objects. But echolocation is not just a tool for finding food. Dolphins also share echolocation clicks with one another. When hunting in groups, they coordinate by clicking,
in a mirror as early as 7 months of age. Each freezing in front of the mirror, spinning, making faces, and observing how their movements are imitated by their reflection. The researchers believe that dolphins developed this ability so early on due to their need to quickly acquire social skills. Dolphins must integrate into a group and instantly recognize each other from birth. Humans and terrestrial mammals do not require such early socialization, which is why this skill appears a bit later. However, dolphins passed the mark test when they were 2 years old.
For example,
they might have been able to do it earlier, but the rules of the aquarium prohibited marking marine animals until they became at least 2 years old. Mirrors were installed in the pool, and several dolphins were marked with non-toxic ink. As a result, the marked bottlenose dolphins repeatedly swam closer to the mirror, twisting and turning to get a better view of the marked area. In contrast, the non-marked dolphins spent much less time in front of the mirror.
This reduces the risk of injury and keeps the pod strong and united. But dolphins
need synchronized actions, not just to entertain the public in dolphinariums. They often hunt in large groups and coordinate their actions to drive rivals away. Using underwater microphones,
dolphins also rub against one another, nuzzle, and swim in synchrony. Touch is a powerful form of bonding. By rubbing pectoral fins, dolphins express affection, comfort, and trust. This physical communication is often paired with whistles and clicks, creating a rich, multi-layered system of interaction. When you listen to a pod of dolphins, what you hear is not random noise, it is an orchestra of sound, a living symphony. One dolphin whistles its signature call, another clicks to scan the surroundings, while two others exchange burst-pulsed sounds in a playful dispute. Meanwhile, their bodies move in graceful patterns, echoing their social bonds. This is dolphin communication, not a single channel, but a multidimensional network of signals, and it is precisely this complexity that raises the great question: are dolphins simply exchanging information, or are they speaking a language? Scientists have long been intrigued by the similarities between dolphin communication and human speech. Both involve unique identifiers, names or signatures. Both use sounds to convey emotion and information. Both combine signals in flexible ways. In one study, researchers discovered that dolphins sometimes respond to recorded whistles of absent dolphins, even when the whistle comes from a speaker. This suggests they understand the sound as a representation of the individual, much like we understand a person's name even if someone else says it. We have learned that dolphins use whistles, clicks, burst-pulsed sounds, and body language. But these sounds, impressive as they are, lead us to a bigger question: do dolphins have a language? This question has fascinated scientists, philosophers, and animal lovers for decades. When we hear dolphins whistling, it feels almost as though they are talking to one another. But is this simply communication, or is it something deeper, something resembling human speech? To answer this, we must explore what language really means. Another study found that dolphins may vary the structure of their whistles depending on context, similar to how humans change tone, pitch, or speed when speaking in different situations. Could it be that dolphins have a form of language? If so, how complex is it? These questions remain at the frontier of science. Some researchers argue that dolphins have all the ingredients of a language: symbols, syntax, and meaning, while others caution that we must not project human traits too quickly. Yet one thing is clear: dolphin communication is far more advanced than simple animal calls. It reflects intelligence, identity, and emotion, and as we continue to listen, we may find that their voices hold secrets we have only begun to unlock. In their clicks and whistles, dolphins reveal a world where sound is life, identity, and connection. They speak not only to survive, but to belong. And as we listen, we realize that the ocean is alive with conversations we are only beginning to understand. But if dolphins can communicate so richly, then we must ask, why do they talk? What purpose drives this symphony of sound? The answer takes us deeper into their social world, where bonds, survival, and love all depend on the voices of dolphins. We've already learned that dolphins create unique signature whistles
to identify each other.
These whistles function much
Each
like
dolphin has its own signature whistle, which it responds to and knows from early childhood.
Sometimes even
the researchers recorded the whistles of each dolphin and then played them back using underwater speakers.
Names are symbols.
They played not only the sounds that the dolphins responded to, but also the sounds of other animals they had never seen.
That's the first sign
the dolphins ignored all sounds different from their call sign, but recognized and repeated their signature whistle. If there were a translator from dolphin to human, this equipment might look like this: Adam, Jacob, Michael, Thomas, Flipper. Flipper, that's me, I'm here. It seems that the call sign helps dolphins distinguish between friends and strangers and stick with their own pods. After all, these cetaceans have no other way to orient themselves. Marine creatures live in an environment where they can move freely in any direction, up, down, forward, backward, and sideways, without needing any surfaces. Unlike humans, they can move in 3 dimensions without any limits imposed by surfaces or gravity. Most of the time they cannot see each other or find one another by scent. In the wild, they do not have a permanent home to return to, and constantly migrate from place to place. But humans wouldn't be humans if they stopped talking, developed a special device called chat to facilitate communication between humans and cetaceans. How was it invented? It's actually quite simple.
but the order changes
For
the
5
meaning.
months a year, the researchers team
syntax.
studied
Do
a pod of
dolphins do
Atlantic
something
spotted
similar?
dolphins near the
Research is ongoing,
Bahamas.
and the evidence is
The
mixed.
dolphins got used to the researchers and
studies
began
suggest that
imitating
dolphins
human
do combine
sounds
sounds,
and
for example,
poses,
when humans
even
say,
inviting them
"The
to
dog
play
chased the
together.
cat" versus
The dolphin's behavior
"The cat chased the
inspired
dog."
rope
The same
or a
words
piece of
appear, but
seaweed,
the order changes
and
the
then
meaning.
provide the toy and
This
play
is
with the
syntax.
dolphin.
Do dolphins do something
Once the
similar?
dolphins master these 3 sound
Research is
combinations,
ongoing, and
the
the evidence
researchers
is
can
mixed.
continue building a
Some
vocabulary of
studies
whistles.
suggest that dolphins do
It could
combine
form the
sounds in
basis
different
of an
orders to
artificial
produce
language
different
that may
meanings.
allow humans and
For
dolphins
instance,
to
they may
communicate with
whistle
one
in
another in the
sequence
future.
to call another dolphin,
Since
and in a slightly
2010,
different sequence
scientists
to
have
indicate
continued
movement
sounds
or
in
play.
response.
Other experiments with
For
captive
40
dolphins
years,
show
Dr.
they can
Herzig
understand
has been
human-created
studying
syntactic
dolphins,
rules.
recording and
Trainers
preserving
have taught
every
dolphins
audio
to
and
respond
video
differently to
interaction.
commands like touch the ball
The
with your
scientist
tail
now
versus
believes that AI tools
ball
and new
touch.
advances in machine learning
dolphins obey
will
the
make it
correct
easier
order,
to
which
crack
suggests
the
they
code
understand the
of
structure
dolphin
language,
communication.
not just the individual words. If dolphins can understand syntax,
Admittedly,
it is possible
dolphins
they
are
use it
still
themselves.
not very good at imitating
Though
human
more
language.
evidence is needed,
However,
displacement.
these cheerful
Talking about the
creatures
unseen,
more than make up
another
for it
sign
with
of
their
language
ability
is
to imitate
displacement.
human
The ability
movements,
to talk about
even with
things
their
not
eyes
present.
closed.
Humans do
During
this
an
all the
experiment,
time.
an
We talk
Atlantic
about
bottlenose
yesterday's
dolphin
meal,
named
tomorrow's
Tanner
plans,
showed
or
excellent
faraway
results.
places. Do
First,
dolphins have this
Tanner,
power?
who lives
There
in
are
the Dolphin
hints.
Research Center in the
For
Florida
example,
Keys,
dolphins have been
success
observed
humans
producing
certainly
whistles
aren't
and burst
capable of
sounds
this,
long after an
but we
event
still
has
have a
occurred,
lot in
almost
common.
as though they are
For
discussing
example,
what happened.
dolphins coo
Some
with their
researchers
young,
believe
just
dolphins
like
may share
humans.
information about food sources
Marine
or
biologist
dangers that are not
Leila Said,
immediately
throughout
present.
this
While
time,
we cannot
she
yet
studied
prove this,
bottlenose
the
dolphins in
possibility is
Sarasota
exciting.
Bay, Florida,
If true,
and
it would
noticed
mean
changes
dolphins are
in a
not
mother
limited to the
dolphin's
here and
whistle
now.
when her
They
calf
can
was
share knowledge
nearby.
about the past and
They
future.
emit whistles with much
The
higher
creativity of
maximum
dolphin
frequencies.
voices, visual,
Scientists
a part of dolphins
suggest
producing
that this
a wide variety
cooing
of
may help
whistles
to
and
teach the
clicks.
young
One of the
or
hallmarks of
establish
human
social
language is
bonds.
creativity.
Moreover,
With
this
just
might be a
26
way for the
letters,
mother to
we can
teach the
create
calf
millions
to
of words,
recognize her
endless stories,
among
and
others.
infinite ideas.
There is
Dolphins,
also evidence
too,
that dolphins
seem to
can
have creative
grieve,
potential.
just like humans.
They can produce
To
an
determine if this is
astonishing
true,
variety of sounds,
researcher
and they are not
78
limited to
observation
fixed
records
calls
of
like many
dolphins
animals.
over 46 years,
Instead, they
from
combine
1970
whistles, clicks,
to
and body language
2016.
in flexible ways,
The scientists
adjusting their
noticed
communication
changes in the
depending on
behavior of
situation.
dolphins,
This
especially
adaptability suggests
females,
that dolphins are
upon the
not stuck
loss
with
of
a
their
rigid set of
calves.
calls.
A mother was
They
often
can
unwilling
innovate,
to part with her
improvise,
deceased
and create
baby,
new signals as
sometimes
needed.
carrying it on
Hallmarks
her
of
back
language-like
or
behavior.
keeping its body
Another
afloat
fascinating
for several
discovery is that
days,
dolphin
as if
communication
waiting
varies
for
by
a
region.
miracle. There is
Just as
also a
humans have
documented
different
case of
accents and
dolphins living in
dialects,
captivity
dolphins in different
who
parts of
lay
the
at the
world
bottom of the
develop unique
pool
styles of
and
whistles
refused to
clicks.
eat for
For
several
example,
days after the
orcas in
death
the
of a
Pacific
friend.
Northwest have distinct
But
call
dolphins
patterns
aren't the
compared to
only
orcas in
animals with
Antarctica.
rituals for the dead.
Even pods living
Some
in
other
the same
species
ocean may
have their
slightly
own
different
traditions.
dialects.
Be sure to check out
Passed
our
down
video
through
about
generations.
crows
This is more
and
than
see what
biology.
they
It
do
is
in the
culture.
face of loss.
Dolphins are not only born with the ability to make sounds.
In short,
they learn how to use
no
them
matter
from their
how you
families
look
and
at a
communities.
dolphin, it
Culture
is unique
another cornerstone
and
of
incredibly
language,
smart.
because it means knowledge is
But
not
what if
just
this
genetic,
mammal has
it
been
is taught,
inappropriately
shared,
put
and
on a
preserved.
pedestal and
Despite all this,
idolized?
scientists
What if
face
dolphins are
major
not
challenges
as
in proving
intelligent
that
as
dolphins have a
previously
language.
thought?
For one,
Indeed,
dolphin
there
sounds
is
exist
such
at
an opinion
frequencies far
among
higher than
scientists.
human hearing.
For
Much of their communication may be happening beyond our perception. Secondly, the ocean environment makes it hard to record and track who is speaking to whom. Even more difficult is translation. Unlike human languages, where we can match words to objects, dolphin signals may not always have direct equivalents. A single whistle might carry layers of meaning, emotion, identity, and command, all at once. It's like trying to decode a language where one sound could mean hello, I am hungry, and stay close, all at depending on context. Still, technology is helping. With advanced underwater microphones, computer algorithms, and artificial intelligence, scientists are beginning to identify patterns and structures in dolphin communication that were invisible before. What does all this tell us? Perhaps dolphins do not speak a language exactly like ours. But they share many of the same building blocks: symbols, identity, creativity, cultural learning. They remind us that language is not a human invention, but part of a broader story of intelligence on Earth, and in the whistles of dolphins, we may be hearing not just communication, but a reflection of our own journey, a mirror of the first steps our ancestors once took toward speech. So, do dolphins have a language? The evidence is strong, but the mystery is not yet solved. What is clear is that their voices carry meaning, memory, and identity. They are not just talking to survive, they are talking to belong. To teach, to love, but this leads us to the heart of the matter: why? Why did dolphins evolve such rich communication in the first place? What drives them to fill the oceans with sound? To answer this, we must look at their daily lives, their struggles, their friendships, their families. Only then will we uncover the deeper reason behind the question, why do dolphins talk? We have seen how dolphins communicate, through whistles, clicks, and body language. We have asked whether this communication could be called a language. But now we turn to the most important question of all: why? Why do dolphins talk? Why have they evolved such rich and complex voices when many animals survive with far simpler calls? The answer lies in the very fabric of dolphin life, in their need to survive, to cooperate, to raise families, and to form bonds that go far beyond survival. Let us dive deeper into the reasons dolphins talk. 1. Talking for survival. The first and most basic reason dolphins talk is survival. Life in the ocean is not easy. Food is not always abundant, predators lurk in the shadows, and the ocean is vast. To thrive, dolphins must work together. Take hunting, for example. A single dolphin, hunting alone, may struggle to catch enough fish. But when dolphins hunt as a group, in the end, the reasons dolphins talk may sound very familiar. For why do we talk? We talk to survive, to warn, to teach, to comfort, to love, to laugh. We talk to build societies and pass on culture. We talk not just to live, but to connect, and so it is with dolphins. Their voices remind us that we are not alone in the universe of communication. Other beings, swimming in the vast blue ocean, also live by the power of sound. Why do dolphins talk? Because like us, they are social, intelligent, emotional creatures who need one another, and in their voices, we hear an echo of our own. The ocean is not silent. It is alive with the songs of whales, the clicks of dolphins, the whispers of countless creatures. Dolphins talk because they must. They talk to survive, to hunt, to teach, to bond, and to play. They talk to name themselves, to call to friends, to warn of danger, and perhaps to dream. And when they talk, they remind us that we are not alone in our search for meaning. There are other voices on this planet, voices that may not sound like ours, but voices that carry wisdom, beauty, and truth. So the next time you stand at the shore, listening to the waves, remember this: beneath the surface, in the endless blue, dolphins are speaking, and if we listen, truly listen, we may one day understand not only their voices, but also the deeper language of life itself. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please share, like, and subscribe to this channel for more videos.